We're going to post the recording from today's webcast to the CA API Management community, as well as the slides from today's webcast as well. If you have any questions at all during today's presentation, you can ask it in the Q&A panel in WebEx, or you can wait until the end of the presentation when we'll open up the phone lines for a live Q&A over the phone. So now I'm going to pass it over to Tyson.
Great, thanks, Kristen. Appreciate that intro. So again, this is Tyson Witten. I head up product marketing for CA API Management. Today we're going to discuss what to expect at CA World. And we have with us today our product management team. And so it should be a pretty good session. We have Dana Crane, he's going to talk about new product announcements for SaaS, API Management 2.0, Leif Bildoy, who's going to be talking about some announcements as it relates to accelerating mobile and IoT development. And then we have Stephen Mack, who's going to be talking about some updates as it relates to the API Gateway. But before I pass it over to them, I just want to give you a quick overview of what CA World is and what to expect, just in terms of the overall show itself. I mean, some of you might have attended in the past, some of you may not have. CA World is essentially our largest user conference that we have every 12 months. It's located in Las Vegas, Nevada. It's at the Mandalay Bay. This year we're expecting to have about 5,000 attendees, so really a good number of not just users but also buyers as well that attend the show. And here's a quick sample of those that have registered in the past or that have attended in the past in 2014, but also some new attendees as well. So it's really a great way for you to learn and kind of meet new companies, as well as understand some of their use cases and not just how they're using APIs and API management, but a lot of the other technologies that CA has to offer. So it's really a great way to collaborate and meet new people and share different experiences from a technology perspective. So here's just a quick snapshot of some of the companies that have attended in the past and that will be attending in the future. CA, I mean, this year the conference is essentially 4 days long. It's held from the 16th to the 19th. The first 2 days is all pre-con, so it's essentially keyboard, monitor, mouse. It's more or less technical training, if you will. Wednesday and Thursday is when the show opens up. So it's the show floor that's open. It's when the keynotes happen. It's when the different customer sessions and CA-led speaking sessions happen as well. And I'll go through that in a little bit more detail as we go through this. Quick aerial shot of the property. Large property, a lot to do to keep you busy while you're at the show when you're not on the show floor. If you stay at the Mandalay Bay, it's a quick 10-minute walk over to the show floor as well as to where the keynotes are being held. From a show floor and content area, so what we do is we divide out the different areas in terms of content areas. So you can see there on the right-hand side, bottom right-hand corner, that's the DevOps area. So there's essentially 3 different content areas. There's DevOps, there's Agile Management, and then there's Security. And then there's Mainframe as well to add a 4th. API Management, that is being held in the top right-hand corner there. Essentially, it's called Theater 3. And the area, as Kristen pointed out, is called API Management and App Development. Products within that area will be API Management as well as CA Service Virtualization. So a lot to learn and understand as it relates to DevOps. It takes up a lot of the show floor. But if you're interested in other areas as it relates to Security, Agile Management, or Mainframe, you can attend those sessions. You can attend those and walk through those demo areas as well. From a entertainment perspective, Sheryl Crow is going to be there. Fall Out Boy is going to be there. So some pretty big talent as it relates to the show. We'll also have a quick snapshot of the keynote floor where our CEO, Mike Gregoire, will be speaking and having his keynote. As it relates to API management, the first day that we'll be providing content to you will be on Tuesday. So So this will be delivered by the API Academy. So Matt McClarty and his team, the API Academy, will be delivering a full-day session on that Tuesday. So again, that's the pre-con education part of CA World on Tuesday, and this workshop is going to be divided up into 2 parts. Right, the first part is the first half of the day, and then there's the second half of the day. So part 1 is going to be microservices strategy. It's going to be a microservices strategy workshop, and that's going to be followed up by a microservices implementation workshop. So that's a newer session that the team just started delivering, so that should be pretty interesting as it relates to microservices, but not just design and architecture. There's also going to be an element of the boot camp in which they go over how to use our technology and how to solve different use cases with CA APIM as well. Some customers that you can plan on meeting and attending in terms of their sessions. We have Rogers Communications, Unum, Market Share, Asurion, Visa will be there, the Advisory Board, American Family Insurance, CAW Add-on. We also have a few different analysts as well as some authors from Boston College and the Harvard Business Review that will be going over a very focused types of sessions as it relates to the business value of APIs. So we have a broad set of speakers there across a lot of different industries. I think last year we had 3 customers that spoke, and so we have a good number this year, really increased and grew the number of customers that decided to speak. And we have a few more openings as well if anybody on the call has some interest. Wednesday and Thursday, this is a snapshot of our theater session. So to kick things off on Wednesday, our content area GM keynote will be delivered by Rahim Bhatia, and so he'll be going over our vision and strategy from an API management standpoint. We'll quickly cover some of the product updates and new product releases that we have, and then we'll also have some customer awards that we'll announce during that keynote. And then you can see there as well our customer sessions, Rogers Communications, Visa, Asurion, Market Share. They'll all be speaking there. Phil Walston will be going over our product roadmap and vision. And then we also have an analyst from Gartner, Van Baker. So Van Baker's very well known in the industry. He is an expert as it relates to mobile infrastructure services and mobile app development, and so he'll be speaking on that topic during one of the theater sessions. We also have some sessions off the show floor. So again, a great number of customers that will be going through some pretty interesting use cases as it relates to API management technology and how they're using it in real-world scenarios and the value that they're receiving from the product. So Unum, CAW Add-on, Advisory Board, American Family Insurance. And then we also have some CA speakers as well. So some of the content that we're delivering as part of the API Academy, we'll have longer sessions, more in-depth sessions as it relates to some of the content delivered there, but off the show floor as well, and focused on microservices. We have an IoT session, Home Under Siege, that's going to be held by Scott Morrison. And then, like I said before, reframing strategic advantage through APIs, a very business-focused type of session that's going to be delivered by Mohan Subramaniam from Boston College, and he's written a lot in the Harvard Business Review over the past year. And you can get this. This is a program guide just to give you a quick snapshot of what to expect when you get at CA World. So there is a link. You can go to CA World 2015. There you can get access to this program guide that will give you an overview of what customers are attending, some of the sessions, analysts, the demo stations that we have there as well. And that's a good point. So for the demo stations, we have 5 different demo stations at CA World. We'll be focusing on the API gateway. We'll be focusing on the portal. We'll be focusing on our SaaS offering, and we'll be focusing a lot on some of the newer capabilities that we plan on announcing at CA World as well. And as part of that, there'll be some Tech Talk sessions. So the Tech Talk sessions are going to be a very in-depth look at our technology. So some of the other sessions will be focused more on the business value of our product. This is where the product owners are going to get pretty deep in terms of how to use our technology to solve specific use cases and then provide some demos around those use cases. And then it provides just from a proximity standpoint, it's pretty simple to just move from one of those Tech Talk sessions over to the demo area and get a one-on-one demo. In addition, you can see there at the bottom there some examples of some other companies that will be attending. So again, you can get this on the CA World 2015 site. It's a program guide in PDF form that you can download. And so if you're looking for justification to go to the show, I'd recommend pulling that down. And if you want to communicate this to management, it's a good document to use to express the value that you get from going and attending the show. And then here are some other sessions as well. Yeah, so once you go to the site, it's pretty simple to understand what sessions are available to you. You just have to enter in the keywords. So if you look for APIs or API management, or if you're looking for a specific company, just enter that into the keyword search area, and then you can start building out the agenda. Okay. All right. So from here, I'm gonna hand it over to Dana, and he's going to be going over what to expect at CA World as it relates to some of the updates that are happening with our CA API Developer Portal and our SaaS offering. Dana, you there?
Thanks, Tyson. I am Dana Crane. I'm the product manager for our portal offerings. We have both the SaaS portal and the on-premise portal at CA World this year. And I'm really excited to introduce the fact that we are producing a hybrid version of our SaaS portal. So last year in November at this time, we talked about, or we introduced our original SaaS version. That was our 1.0 version. And we've since moved on. We had a beta test this summer, and our customers helped us prove in that we could also introduce this SaaS offering as a hybrid model as well. So with this hybrid model, you get to deploy the gateway on-premise. That's right close next to your APIs. So that allows you to secure that last mile better, integrate with your existing systems better. And it allows you also to, if you've got looking at budget, it allows you to mix that budget together. So you could purchase that hybrid gateway in a CapEx model, and the SaaS portal then gets purchased through an OpEx model. So in this scenario, what you've got is your own gateway that you deploy and maintain. You hook that up to your APIs, and then you reach out from your DMZ up to the SaaS portal periodically to query for changes. And that way, we're not forcing you to punch any holes in your firewall. It's always a reach out to the portal. It's always originated from the gateway. You always know where those connections are coming from. They're originating from within your enterprise. They're never coming from something outside your enterprise. We believe that's a very secure model, and certainly what our customers were telling us during our beta test this summer. A couple of other great things that we've done with this model, and our customers have helped us prove in, is the fact that you can now automate this entire enrollment process. For those of you who are familiar with the on-premise portal, to get the portal and gateway working together, there's a lot of manual steps to establish that whole trust relationship and exchange certs and download the components and install them on the gateway. What we've done with this hybrid model is made this all automated. All you need to do is plug in a token into your gateway. The gateway will then reach up to the portal, download all the components it needs, establish that mutual SSL connection, get everything in place for you. You just have to wait 2 minutes. There's no fuss, no muss, very simple, easy way of getting this done. A couple of other things to remember is that the hybrid gateway is actually a 9.0 version. 9.0 is not available just yet, but will be available sometime around CA World or just prior to. One of the key things that we're relying on with 9.0 is something called scheduled tasks. That's what actually does that reach out to the portal on a regular scheduled basis to try and grab what's new. It's also what we use to push a lot of the metrics up to the SaaS portal. And I'll talk a little bit about the usefulness with our 2.0 that we're going to be doing with all those metrics we get. One of the key things with security is core support, so cross-origin request sharing. This means that for your internal developers, they can pass the session to the browser, so you don't, when the SaaS portal actually talks down to your enterprise APIs, for example, using the API Explorer, we can hand that call off to the browser, so again, no need to punch a hole in the firewall, much more secure kind of implementation. So this 2.0 SaaS hybrid and cloud-based model will both be made available shortly after CA World. One of the key features is hybrid, but we have a bunch of other key features we're rolling out as well. Many of these we actually previewed during our beta test this summer and got good prove-in from our existing customers. Swagger 2.0. So today we allow you to upload a WSDL file and then create interactive doc from it. With 2.0, you can upload a Swagger file as well and create that interactive doc. Business reporting. So today we offer operational reporting, that is up to the second reporting, so it can help you troubleshoot, find out what's going on with your APIs, how you're making those calls, and instantly getting back that information. With the business reporting, what we're doing is we're moving this off into our partner Good Data. We're taking any of that information collected on the gateway. Again, this is where we're going to be leveraging that scheduled tasks capability to push that information up to our partner Good Data. That allows you to create those business reports that can be out of the box, so you can view these on a daily basis, or you can create them on the fly. So creating ad hoc reports based on any data that's collected within the gateway. A very powerful way of seeing what is happening over time with trends on your portal. We've also introduced API custom fields. So custom field is a way of layering on metadata. In this case, what you're doing is you're layering on metadata on a per API basis, and that metadata is then available in policy as a context variable for you to use to create policy around. For example, maybe you've got a brand new beta API, and so you've created some metadata that's labeled beta versus production. And if you set that metadata to beta, perhaps your logic that you've created on the gateway says when the metadata variable says that it's beta, route to my beta environment where I can collect all kinds of information that can help me improve my API. Once I've got that solidified, I change that metadata to production. Now the logic in the policy on my gateway says route it to my production instance. So now I can actually route to the production instance of that API and put that into production. So different ways of creating policy that can help you do specific things with specific APIs. We've also got portal APIs. So again, something we beta tested this summer, got some good feedback from our customers on. We're rolling that out shortly after CA World. And this is really a set of REST-based APIs that allow you to do things like create applications, create APIs, create users on the fly, just via programmatic interface. You can either use our API Explorer directly to make those calls, or your own application or sort of command line utility you might have in order to make those calls to get things done on the portal programmatically without having to log in and use the UI all the time. And then finally, we're introducing single sign-on. So if you've got any SSO system that supports SAML token-based sign-ons, we'll be able to use that SAML-based system to enable you to SSO into the portal. So all that's coming in 2.0, as I said, shortly after CA World, and we'll definitely be on site to give you guys a really good preview of all of that functionality if you can drop by the booth. I'm going to put my other hat on, which is my API Portal on-premise hat, and talk a little bit about our API Developer Portal version 3.5, which is also shipping just after CA World. We have two focuses for version 3.5. Number one is a software version of the portal. So for those of you who are familiar, we ship a VM today as well as an AMI. In 3.5, you'll also be able to get this as a software version, so you can roll your own with your own operating system. But the real key focus for Developer Portal 3.5 is our multilingual support. So today you can create a portal in any one language, be that English, be that a Delphi character set like Chinese, or be that some other Latin character set like French or German or Italian. But that's only one single language. What we've done with 3.5 is enable you to create your portal in multiple languages. So as you can see here, I've got 6 or 7 different languages that I can provide this portal in. So anytime I create an item, in this case an account plan, I can go ahead and create that account plan in Spanish, French, Japanese, Korean, Russian, or Chinese, or any other language you might want to localize it into. That's true for any component that you create. You can update those in any language on the fly. But we've also got, you can see it in the background there, sort of an overview. So you can get an overview of your translation status for the entire site. So all components, every single page, every single item, all of the phrases, all of the UI comes as an overview, so you can quickly go in and check to see, have I filled in all the strings for my Korean site? Or you can get your translator to provide all those strings, import them, and they'll update that translation status so you can see at a glance that you've fulfilled everything necessary to bring your Korean site online. Then you can take this and sew it up as a package as usual and migrate this to your production environment and put it in place. So everything here is available for you to create multiple experiences for all of your developers on a global basis. So over here on the left in the demo pod, you can drop by and talk to me or talk to our product managers and product marketers who will be there as well, get a demo of that SaaS v2.0 or get a demo of the portal 3.5 and the multilingual capabilities. I also have another duty over there on the right, which is our tech talk. So I'll be delivering a tech talk about unlocking data. So the value of data, putting an API on your data, and then building a API management initiative around those data APIs, delivering new value, new revenue to your business in multiple different ways, be that directly monetizing those APIs or indirectly monetizing them using some of the tools that we provide out of the box with our portals. So with that, I'll pass it off to Leif. Leif, you ready?
I'm here. Can you hear me? Yep. So I'm Leif today, product management for the mobile API management products we have. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about what's coming on the mobile API gateway 3.0 release, and we're also going to talk a little bit about an announcement for a new product that we'll announce at CA World. So let's see here, MAG 3.0 release. So just around the CA World timeframe, so early to mid-November, we will come out with the 3.0 release of the MAG. And one of the features there is CA RiskMinder integration. And this is pretty neat feature. I'm not sure how, if the audience know, the details of RiskMinder, but basically we will be able to leverage risk calculation in API policy. So there's probably a couple of areas where you would like to think about that. If you know the MAG, you know the mobile single sign-on flow we have there, so the support through the SDK and so on in the applications, signing in a user, signing in the app and the device and so on. So what if you could actually gather some parameters and push it off to CA RiskMinder and get a risk score back? And now, depending on this risk score, you would be able to take other, branch your policies essentially and take other actions. Maybe something like an OTP or, to get a little bit more firmness around your device registration. The second feature here, client credentials registration. So this is OAuth level feature, and what we do today in the mobile single sign-on flow is that we're setting up a user session and for SSO and so on, but there are actually cases where you would like to do the client credentials flow, which is you're not necessarily needing or requiring to have a signed-in user. So maybe your app your mobile app is, you want to provide app credentials to the gateway and register the device, but you're going to hit some APIs that don't require a signed-in user. So this will be a neat new feature for our customers. And the third one here, login without dialogue. This is an Android first feature. I mean, for us, we'll come back with iOS later, but essentially what it enables is that the app developer has, are not using the dialogues as provided with the SDK, but you can, render this credential capture part yourself in your app. So that's kind of loosening up a little bit on the control that the SDK has, where we earlier sort of mandated that you use a dialog pop-up. You may not want a pop-up. You may want to actually render it in your app flow. So that will be possible in 3.0. Now, MAG for Knox. I'm not sure if you know what Knox is. I should probably say Samsung Knox there because that's what it is. So we already launched or provided last year a whole series of features for Samsung Knox. So we integrated quite deeply, and we are able to manage containers, install applications into containers, and so on the client. So we could do wipes of those containers, and more importantly actually is the attestation aspect. So we can today already require attestation to pass before we allow an API request. So what does that mean? I mean, that means that we're checking via Samsung service how if the firmware on the device is in the original state. So if you ever jailbroken your device, something like that, well, we can actually check for that. And until this new feature here, that would only happen if you're using containers on the Knox containers on the device. Now, that is one limitation, I guess, and limits you to use, B2E, so employee type of applications. I mean, you probably have never seen an B2C, a consumer app, which has this kind of hefty security requirements. It makes sense for enterprise cases only. But what's going to happen here in the MAG 3.0 release is that we will be able to leverage and unlock many of the same features without needing and requiring a container to be present on the device. Now that's quite astonishing because that means that the underlying ARM trust zone hardware, which is essentially hardware and tamper-proof resistant hardware in the bottom, that's where you introduce security, that will be available for B2C use cases. And the MAG can unlock this for all new Samsung flagship devices. So flagship meaning Note 4 and beyond, well, the Galaxies and so on. So this is a pretty big deal because it means that you can get proper storage for your key material and so on. And the last bit here, Android M and iOS 9 update. I mean, these are kind of table stakes, I guess. We're basically looking at what those guys are doing, and we're upgrading our SDKs so that they will be running on these systems. That's pretty much the 3.0 release as we see it today. Shortly before we release this. So what about the new stuff? So we're going to announce a new product, which is an add-on to the mobile API gateway. So as you may realize, it's in the same type of, it's a similar type of service relating to developers, to mobile developers. But while the mobile API gateway is really about security and enabling security, these are far more developer-centric type of features we are going to provide. So what I've put together here is a bunch of use cases that we are attempting to address with this new offering. So we're talking a lot about collaborative applications and group type of functionalities. Imagine if you could actually create an ad hoc group or a virtual group for your app, and not necessarily leverage what you have in your LDAP or in Active Directory, but something that relates far closer to the apps. I mean, that would be quite useful if you're going to do, sharing, if you're going to have applications where people work together on a task. So what about messaging type of scenarios, chat applications, messaging to users, messaging to groups, and can you do it securely? I think we're recognizing that there have been many different systems in place over the last few years, which have shown that security isn't taken serious. But for us, that's table stakes. So we will be looking at how we can enable this type of features. Now, in the bottom part of this, we're talking a little bit about IoT here, and what is interesting about IoT is that it actually puts new requirements on API management as a function. So while you have a request-response paradigm over HTTP that's been very successful for getting to data and so on behind a firewall through API gateways. Now we actually need, with IoT, we need a more async type of system, a messaging system, and publisher's guide or PubSub is something that is important when you're trying to address these type of use cases. So you will have applications that observe, they want to get notified, and the applications need to react on some event that happened somewhere in the system. And that would be very hard. I mean, it's doable, but it will be harder to achieve that with normal HTTP. So that's where a PubSub capability is coming into play. And the last one here is around various storage services, whether it's secure storage locally on the device or in your private cloud. The application should have the freedom to the developer and the application should have freedom to select what is required for the particular use case. And now, what is extremely important here when we're building out products, and that goes beyond this new offering. It's for the MAG, it's for the API gateway and the portal product as well, is that we're building out APIs, open APIs. So everything you see, for instance, in the mobile API gateway, you will be exposed as APIs on the gateway. You can modify them, you can extend them, and so on. And equally important when you're talking to mobile app developers is that you have a comprehensive set of SDKs where you basically provide convenience for these developers. So while you don't need and require to use these SDKs because you could hit the APIs directly, the SDKs are shortening the time you need to build out your application. And one of the things that is really extremely exciting here is if you've seen some of the the use cases here on this screen and you see the code behind it. I mean, you can write literally a chat application in a couple of lines of code, and that's actually quite astonishing because we all know about different acquisitions of companies in the past for a lot of dollars, and they weren't doing much more really. So So while we're adding on features to the API gateway, the mobile API gateway, and also this new offering, you will see that the abstraction layers are quite profound. You can write a lot of new logic for your application, basically relying on lots of good services here. So if you're coming to CA World, well, you will be able to talk to the staff from API Management. We'll have folks, myself and others from the mobile team. We'll demo the API, mobile API gateway. We'll obviously demo the new offering. And there's a couple of other sessions there. We're going to have a tech talk, accelerate mobile development using SDKs and open APIs. So we'll go more in detail about what I just mentioned. And there's also going to be a technology primer, and that is with Scott Morrison and myself. So there should be a lot of good mobile-related content here for anyone interested in mobile app development. Okay, let me see. So next one up, Stephen.
All right. So I'm Stephen Mack. I'm the product manager for the API Gateway. And in this session, let me see if this works. Here. And in this session, at CA World this year, we'll be talking about the API Gateway 9.0 release. That release will GA roughly, it will GA later this quarter, but roughly around the time of CA World, probably just before that. And the main focus of this release is to enable the gateway to be integrated with the new API Management SaaS product offering that Dana had talked about. So there will be some overlap in terms of what I talk about here and what he's already covered. So that hybrid gateway deployment model that Dana mentioned, that's a big part of what the Gateway 9.0 release will be about. In that, this release will enable the deployment of the gateway on premise while it's connected and talking to the SaaS environment for the API Management SaaS product there. And the big value proposition here, of course, is that the users can retain full control over those gateways that are on-prem and, of course, the data that's associated with those published APIs. And so some of the features that are encompassed in this feature set here is around that tight, seamless integration, the gateway enrollment process between where the on-prem gateway announces itself to the portal gateway, the SaaS gateway, and they establish that trust relationship between the two gateways there. And then another part of that is then the synchronization between those gateways. And there are features that are associated with those processes that are regular gateway users who are not using the SaaS offering will also be able to leverage. Things like scheduled tasks that enable part of that synchronization and other features like that. Another feature set that's part of the 9.0 release is the gateway management enhancements. And these were developed to enable easier provisioning and management of the gateways from within the API Management SaaS environment. And many of these features will also be available to gateway users directly, and these will include things like new command line and REST management APIs that gateway users will be able to leverage. We're also introducing a new interface within the policy manager to manage solution kits. Solution kits are essentially packages of new features that can be delivered either as policies or assertions, And basically, we'll have a framework that will allow you to install them and uninstall them, and to manage those in general, and to upgrade them as part of that management process. So, like I say, 9.0 will be the key product that we'll be highlighting from on the Gateway team, and we'll be demoing this at our demo pod, as well as many other new features that we're also working on in parallel to the release. Things like new deployment form factors. So some possible demos that we'll be showing there will include Docker, new form factors around Azure and things like that, as well as new gateway management interfaces. So yeah, please join me there, as well as other product management and product marketing folks there, and we'll be glad to show you some of these new features. Then for our tech talk, we'll be talking, the topic is extend existing architectures to digital endpoints with CA API management, and there we'll be talking about how users have been able to integrate the gateway with disparate systems across a number of different environments, whether that's cloud, on-prem, or mobile. We'll talk about how organizations have been able to use the API Gateway to modernize their legacy systems and expose new, more modern-looking potentially REST APIs for new app development. And lastly, we'll talk about how the API management team uses the Gateway, how it leverages it as a development platform to develop and support new features and products ourselves. A key example of that would be how the hybrid deployment model is supported in the API Management SaaS offering. So we'll drill into that a bit and show how that's put together. So I know that was pretty quick, but that's what it is for the API Gateway. Dinesh?
Thank you, Stephen. Tyson, do you want to wrap it up? Do you want to throw it open for questions?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, we can take questions at this time.
Open up the phone line now.
Okay.
Yeah, so if anyone has a question, you can unmute your line by pressing #6 or *6, or you can press the question next to the phone icon in WebEx, and then I can unmute the line for you. Or you can ask a question in the Q&A window. So we'll keep it open for a few minutes for anyone who has any questions. One question that did come in during the presentation was, can this presentation be shared? Because the customer needed the slides for business justification for attending CA World. So yes, we will post the slides to the CA API Management community today, as well as a recording of this webcast. And I'll also share links to those documents to all who attended today's webcast through email. It doesn't look like we have any other questions, you guys, so I think we can just end this webcast today. And then if any questions can come up in the community, I'll let you know. I will encourage those who might have questions, if they view the slides or recording, to comment on that document in the community if they have any questions, and I'll let them know that the panelists will be monitoring. All right. All right, thank you, Tyson, Dana, Leif, Stephen, and Dinesh for presenting today. I can't wait to hear about all the great things that happen at CA World this year. Sad I won't be able to make it, but I'm looking forward to chatting with those who are able to make it in the CA World community, as well as continuing some of the conversation around some of the topics in the API management community as well.
Great. Thanks, Kristen. Thanks, everybody, for joining.
Thank you.